These are all the supplies that come in the DIY kit to make Bead People. So each kit comes with various color combinations, but this particular one comes in a yellow and almost navy blue color scheme. So these particular beads are faceted beads. Now you can see here, like they have different faces on them. Um, I like them because they can be a little sparkly depending on how you look at them. And then the kit also comes with a wooden bead with a painted on face. And we have wire. Now this is 24 gauge wire. What I like most about using this particular gauge is that it is soft enough that you can bend it and curve it, which will be something that will be useful to have. And it's sturdy enough that once you finish putting your bead person together, you can put them in different poses. Okay, now there are also several items that would be helpful to have as you're making your doll kit. It's not essential, it's not a must-have, but again, it will be helpful. The first is a beading tray. This particular tray is made with a flocked surface. The flocked surface helps to keep the beads in place and prevent them from rolling away. If you don't have a beading tray, you can use a paper plate instead. And then having a pair of pliers. These are jewelry pliers, and these particular ones are called round nose pliers. If you don't have them, you can look through your toolkit or your parents' toolkit, or actually ask your parents to look through the toolkit and to see if you can find a flat nose pliers. A flat nose is kind of curved on the outside, but on the inside it is flat. So if you don't have this one, then you can definitely use this one. And then last but not least is wire cutters, also known as wire clippers. Some people may find that they have a lot of wire left and will, just to make it easier, will want to clip it. If you don't have clippers, the wire is soft enough that you can use a regular pair of scissors. Okay, I am now ready to get started. Okay, to begin, first step is to straighten the wire as much as you can. The ends of the wire are the most important to straighten out as much as you can, because if they're curved or if they're bent, it'll be challenging to go through the holes of the faceted beads. And then just roughly straighten up the rest of it like that. And then what you're going to do is take your face bead and you're going to put the wire through it as such. See here. And once it goes through, just let it go. And then you're going to bring the two ends of the wire together like that until the bead is about halfway, on the halfway mark. And then you want to position your bead so that the face is facing up. And then from this end, you're going to hold the wires with one hand, and with your other hand, and then as well as keeping the face up, you're going to press the wires against the doll head. So what that looks like, let me zoom in a little bit. What that looks like is this. Face up, just pressing it in so that it's flush. There we go. That's all you got to do. And then while you're holding it in place, I am going to take my 2 wires. Now for the rest of this tutorial, I am going to be calling these the legs of the wire, or the wire legs. So you're going to take the legs, you're going to take one of them and you're going to place it over the other. And then you're going to push that intersection. You want to push that until it is flush against the head of the bead. And then from this position, we want to twist the wire. We want to twist it 3 times. And how you twist it, you want to bring this wire here that's pointing in that direction, you want to twist it so that it's now pointing towards your belly. So really slowly, you're going to hold both wires as best as you can. One of my fingers is on the bottom, the other one is over the top, and this is the area where the 2 wires intersect, as you can see here, right there. And then my thumb goes over from the top and then twist like that. There. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit and move this out of the way so that you can see what I mean by that. Okay, here. So how do you twist? Finger on the bottom, thumb on top. I'm gonna bring this one so that it's pointing towards my belly, and this one is pointing away from me. Okay, 1, 2, 3, like that. And then we're gonna do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, like that. And there you go. I don't know if you can see it as well, but we have 3 twists, and the twists are almost flush against the head of the bead, which is really good. Okay, I'm gonna bring my beading tray back so we can move on to the next steps. Okay, so now that we're here, our next step is to create our pattern, or the clothing of your bead person. Before we start putting the faceted beads onto here, you want to bring both legs together. What can happen sometimes, as you can see here, one of my legs is shorter than the other. At this point, you can leave it as is, but if this is your first time making these bead people, I would suggest that you get your clippers or a pair of scissors and cut it so that those 2 ends are together. And please be careful when you're cutting. You do not want the broken piece to land in anybody's eye. Okay, so now that my legs are even, first thing I'm going to do is create the neck. And for my pattern, I'm taking one of the yellow beads. We're going to put both legs through the hole at the same time. There we go. As you can see here, it goes through, and then you're going to pull it all the way up to the head. There. And then here, I'm going to have you separate the legs. One is pointing in opposite directions, like that. Kind of like you're doing the splits. Okay, so now I'm going to continue with my pattern. I am going to take one of the yellow beads and then 2 blue beads. Okay. Okay, one of the things some of you may find that it's harder to find the holes on the darker colored beads. Okay, so now we have 2 blue beads on and 1 yellow bead. It's time to create the arm. You're going to take your pliers. You're going to place them pretty close to the beads. You don't want it to be flush against the bead, but just give yourself a little space so that you can wrap the wire around. So you will also notice that I'm placing the wire close to the edge of close to the tip of the pliers. The reason why I do this is even though I'm trying to create the hand, I don't want the hand to be that much bigger. And if you wrap anything around here, it's going to be smaller than if you wrap anything around here. Okay, so now that we got the plier in place, you're going to take that leg, you're going to wrap it around the top of the plier, and then from here, you're going to wrap the wire so that it is now wrapping in this section here. So we're going to do that 3 times, or 2 times I mean. So we're going to go 1, 2. And then from here, you can take your pliers out and you're going to take the end of the wire. We want to put the wire through all 3 arm beads. Some people may find it challenging, other people it'll be relatively easy. So the way that you do it is we're going back through the hole that we initially came from. So taking that, and as you can see here, you see here, the wire is coming through. And then you can just pull it really tight through and then bring it down. Now we're going to create the other arm. Oh, and you'll notice, yes, this kind of becomes like the hand, the fingers. So now I'm doing 1 yellow bead and 2 blue beads. 1, 2, and we're going to do the same thing. Take your pliers close to the tip and close to the beads while holding tight. Wrap the wire over the top of the plier and then wrap it twice around. 1, 2. Then you can take your pliers off, and then we're going to take the end of the wire and we're going to put it through all 3 beads, all 3 arm beads. Okay. There we go. And sometimes some people find it easier when it comes time to pull it through is to use pliers. Just put it towards the tip and then just pull hard like that. We are done with the arms. So now we're going to start creating the torso area. So for this one, I want another yellow. Then another yellow. And then from here, we're going to separate the torso so we can build the legs. And here we're going to do 2 yellows. 1. 2 and 2 blue beads. 1. 2. There we go. So, and now we're going to do the same thing that we did here for the hand. We're going to wrap the wire around the pliers. And the reason why we do this is twofold. 1 is to keep the beads in place, and 2 is to be able to create something that looks like feet. No, not something that looks, yeah, actually something that looks like feet or hands. Okay, so as you can see here, now we're going to take the wire, wrap it over the top, and wrap it around about three times, 2 or 3 times. And then it looks like we have quite a bit of wire left over. Now with this wire, you can just take your clippers and clip it off. And sometimes once you've done that, the tip will still be standing up, and you don't want that tip to be standing up because it can scratch you. Okay, so that one is done. Now we're gonna do 2 yellows. I'm doing the other leg, 2 yellows and 2 blues. And then 2 blues. See? 2 blues. Okay, and almost there. Now we're gonna take this and wrap it around. 1, 2, and 3. And then you can use your clippers to clip it off. And then you want to flatten actually that tip again, because you don't want anybody to be scratching anybody who's playing with your bead people, including yourself. Okay, so here we go. We got our bead person. So now that you've finished creating it, you can play with your bead doll. And the nice thing about these bead dolls is that they are posable. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so you curve the arms so that they're curving towards the center, and you can do the same. You can do the same thing with the body, just curve it in a little bit, and the same thing with your legs. So here we go. Oh. And then that bead doll has several friends that would like to come and play. Oh, this one needs to be sorted out a little bit. They're playing some circle games. There we go. That is all of our bead people. If you need more information about the different DIY kits we create, please feel free to visit us on workshopsayer.com or on Instagram at Workshops Essayer as well. And the last one. Okay, I hope you enjoyed doing this tutorial. If you make one, please upload a photo. I would love to be able to see all of your hard work. Thank you.